Hi, hello, welcome to the Stress Knits podcast. This is an episode in the 70s. I'm not sure which, because I kind of decided to do this on a whim, which is pretty much my MO lately, because if you can't tell, if you're new, Doug and I, my husband, just moved to our first house, which is actually his childhood home. So we're in the midst of unpacking. I'm taking a break from unpacking to do this. Eliza just went down for a nap, who is our daughter. It's almost 8 months, which is crazy. Yeah, and I started this over because I felt myself being a little cranky, and I don't know why. So I took a breath, drank some water, and yeah. So here we are. I'm sitting in our living room. This will not be where I normally podcast. I will be podcasting from our office, but that's not set up yet. Hopefully that'll be done next week or the week after. So we'll see how it goes. Again, Eliza's sleeping, so this might be cut short. We'll see what happens. She's feeling very clingy today, which is not really like her. So I'm just letting it happen. But she was really tired, so I just put her down for a nap so I could get some stuff done. And Esther is chewing on an antler and just being cute. She's trying to figure this new place out. So, hi! Last time we spoke, I was on my way to Vogue Knitting Live, or about to leave for Vogue Knitting Live. So I'm back in Michigan just in time for the polar vortex, which, if you don't know, it's usually just in the Arctic, and then, yeah, so it came down. So, luckily here I almost said it wasn't super cold, but it wasn't the coldest in the vortex. People in Chicago got hit harder. I almost said only, but negative 40-ish, I think is where we were. Negative 30 to negative 40. I think the worst of it was like negative 40 something. But yesterday was just in the negative 30s. Again, I say just with wind chill. But today we're moving on up. And then this weekend it's supposed to be like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're making a 100-degree swing. So I already feel like my throat is already mad. Just all of this stuff. So that was fun. No. I like cold, but not that cold. Especially when you're moving. So, yeah, I just wanted to update you a little bit on New York. Excuse me. New York, there is a vlog coming out soon once Doug has time to edit it. Because, again, he is my editor. He's wonderful. And that will also be going on the Patreon website first for my patrons who support this channel. All you have to do, if you choose, is give $1 a month, and you will have access to extra content. I just put up a post today explaining what's coming, and one of the first things that's coming is the New York vlog, and you'll have that exclusively for a week or two before I put it on the YouTube channel. And then I'm also going to be doing a needle review, which I'm really excited about because I really want to talk about needles. I have a lot of strong opinions about them, and yeah, I just think it's really fun to talk about all ranges. So we're going to do that. And then another thing that I really want to do, I don't know if it's going to be in February or March, but I want to talk about yarn substitutions, because there are, Amy of the Stranded podcast just did this thing on yarn elitism, knitter elitism, yarn snobbery, all of that jazz, and I think that it was wonderful. And I also just want people to know that, one, you can literally knit with whatever you want. If you see a pattern that calls for a yarn that's out of your price range, which plenty of them do that for me, you have options. So this is just a preview, but for example, I will either substitute it for something cheaper, or I will wait and save money for it, because there are some things that I know that I want to knit garments, especially out of a certain yarn. Like, I saved up for a while. It took me a year from deciding that I wanted to knit the Ronin sweater cardigan by Andrea Mowry for Brooklyn Tweed. It took me a year to save for a huge sweater quantity of that, because it takes a lot of yarn. I think it's like 12 or 14 skeins of Brooklyn Tweed, and Brooklyn Tweed is not cheap. So I decided that this is what I really wanted. I love Brooklyn Tweed yarn, and so I saved for it. It wasn't a priority. I was pregnant. We were trying to figure out if we wanted to move. So it wasn't a priority, so I just saved a little money here and there, and then I eventually just decided to buy it. So you can do that, or you can use yarn substitute. So we're going to get into that, which I'm very excited about, because I'm going to do that for a sweater that I really want to knit, which probably won't be cast on until the fall. But it's the sweater that you all know and love that, it's like a $500 sweater. I'm not about that. I love the yarn, I love the designer, but that's, for me, is just a little ridiculous. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going to do for it. Really excited. So if you're interested in any of that content, again, you don't have to. The podcast will come to you regularly as always, but if you want to support the channel and get a little extra a little extra content, sign up for the Patreon, which will be linked in the down bar. All right, so with that, let's get into it. So like I said, I've been knitting on two things. I was hoping to have this done for Vogue Knitting Live, but I didn't get it finished. I still have both sleeves. And I've tried to pick up for the sleeves multiple times, but it just hasn't happened. So this is my Weekender. I love it so much. This is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. This was my January cast on for the Year of Andrea that I'm hosting, which is essentially I just cast on an Andrea Mowry pattern once a month, because all of her stuff is in my queue, if we're being honest with ourselves. So I love it. Yeah, I kind of wish I had knit the large instead of the medium, but this still fits really well. There's about 2 or 3 inches of positive ease, and it's gonna grow when I block it because it's superwash merino. But I will knit this again, and I think I'm going to knit the large next time. I love it. I love it so much, and it fits really, really well. I just need to pick up and knit the sleeves. Yeah, so I knit this out of Knit Pick Stroll. I had skeins of it. I think Esther's sitting on one, yeah. Okay. Knit Pick Stroll Tweed, which is their fingering weight tweed yarn. It's 100% superwash merino, I think. I might be wrong. I know the tweed has the neps, so that's part of the content. But I knit it in Flagstone Heather, which is this dark gray, and Oyster Heather, which is this beautiful beige color, and I held them double to create the worsted weight, and I loved it. I always mention this, but Rachel of Hey Sister and Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls did the same thing with different colors, and I loved theirs so much that I had to replicate it. And I got this yarn on sale during one of the Knit Pick sales that they have all year long, and I think I definitely paid less than $50 for the sweater, so very excited about that. Again, it's the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. All of my ends need to be woven in. I love it so much. Okay, so there is that. The other thing I've been working on, which was my New York knitting, which I didn't knit as much as I thought I was going to. That's cool. It's my Halle hat, and I'm in the middle of a row. Let me finish this really quick. So The Halle hat is from Lane magazine. I forget the designer because I didn't write it down. I think it's Joanna. I forget the last name. Again, apologies, but it's the Halle hat, Halla, from Lane magazine. Yeah, it's great. So you hold 3 fingering weight yarns together. So I just used some scraps, and then they use Ching Fibers melted suri or something like that. But again, it's a little pricey for me. So I found a base, and it is it's a silk suri alpaca. It is probably classified fingering or sport weight. I would say closer to a fingering. It's like 378 yards and 50 grams. And it's baby suri alpaca and silk. So it's the super fuzzy, wonderful. I wound it double because that's what it calls for, because I think the Ching is a DK. So I'm holding it double, and here it is. So I got a lot done. I actually recast this on in the airport. My flight to New York was delayed about an hour. Yeah. So I recast this on in the airport. It's just brioche. I did not do the cast on that it called for. It was a provisional cast on, but I honestly don't fully understand provisional cast ons, especially in the round. So I just decided to use a long tail because I'm not really, the way that they want you to wear it, they want you to flip it up like a ridiculous amount. Like basically the amount that I've already knit. They want you to do that, and then you like tag it down somehow, but I feel like that's just a lot. This is the wrong side though, and I love it. I'm using my hand-dyed yarn, the alpaca, which is my cloud base, is in the Cheeks colorway, and then I'm holding birch, etching, and pillow mint together. So this is it. And originally this was the grouping I was going to do originally because I wanted the singles base, because it calls for singles, and when I tried to use the birch colorway on my 75-25 base, it just didn't look right. So I wanted to do this, but Doug thought this was going to be too much of a contrast, but I think it just cools it down. I love it. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this yarn. Yeah, so I'm excited. It feels like a cloud. I love it so much. So there's that. Yeah, I'm hoping to actually have this done tonight. So we'll see. And then I do have one more cast on that I did also cast on in the airport, but there's a lot of at the same time directions, and I didn't bring a pen, and my ears popped on the airplane pretty badly, to the point where I couldn't hear well out of my ear until like the end of Vogue Knitting Live. So I got in on a Friday and I couldn't hear until the end of Saturday, and it was really frustrating. I met Jacqueline and Julie at a restaurant, and Jacqueline and I were sitting at the bar waiting for Julie, Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk and Julie of Sweet Sparrow, and I couldn't hear. I thought I was shouting at Jacqueline, so very glad that I wasn't. But ugh, why? There's a stink bug on my project. Our old apartment was riddled with them, so we'll just talk about it. So I am hosting the Cozy Sweater Knit Along, KAL. That's a hashtag if you want to use it on Instagram. I'm going to open a thread in in the Ravelry group. I'm resurrecting the Ravelry group, guys. It's happening. So stay tuned. I think I'm just gonna archive everything. Sorry, I hate stink bugs. They're so gross. Our old apartment was just disgusting. It wasn't disgusting. They just didn't have any, there were no barriers between the windows. And so I don't know what to do right now. It's so gross. I'll put it that way so it's not crawling towards me. Ugh, okay. Anyway, yeah, so bugs would get in all the time. We had a few wasps get in the apartment. And when we asked them to fix it, they wouldn't. They just said, keep your doors closed. We're like, we don't open them. So, anyway. Yes, I'm hosting the Cozy Sweater Knit Along. So essentially all you have to do is cast on a cardigan or a pullover, and it has to have positive ease. That's it. That's all it is, and it will run from today, which is February 1st, 2019, until, what was it, April 1st, 2019? So a nice 2 months to knit a nice big cozy sweater. Yeah, and that's it. I will have prizes. I thought I'd have them, but they're all packed away. So I will show them, hopefully next time, but for sure the time after that. I don't know where this bug went, and it's really creeping me out, but I'm almost done. Yeah, so I hope you joined me. I am knitting the Ronin by Andrea Mowry. Very excited. I've wanted to knit this sweater for a very long time. Yeah, I'm just really excited about it. All right, I think that's it knitting wise. Let's talk about Vogue really quick. So I'll get into this more on the vlog, but it was an amazing time. I got to spend time with all of my knitty friends. It's just so nice to be around people who get it, because there isn't really a place in Metro Detroit where that happens. The few places that I've been to, it's very driven by the older knitting groups. So I've had people like really kind of come down on me about using Ravelry, stuff like that. I'm actually going to take this bottle cap and trap this bug, because no. Okay. I don't know if that's really going to do anything, because there are slots in the okay. We'll see what happens. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by a bug. But yeah, there are people, when I've walked into a few yarn stores, and they thought I was crazy for paying for patterns. They thought I was crazy for watching knitting podcasts. They didn't understand indie dyers. They just didn't understand that, which is fine and it's great, but it wasn't a very welcoming group of people. The few yarn stores that I've gone to, the knit nights that I've gone to, it just hasn't been a very welcoming crowd. So yeah, so it's just nice to be around people that I can talk to and go, hey, I want to find colors for my Verses Unite. These are the colors that I already have. I'm on the lookout for 2 more. And then I got this skein from Cat Sandwich Fibers, which I love MJ very much. It's called Antique Handkerchief, and it's on her trusty base, which is a 75-25. It's just gorgeous. This is my pug puppy, Esther. If you have not met her, she's wonderful. Yeah, that's very color accurate too. So there's that. She doesn't know what to do with herself. And then this skein of Primrose, which is on her Adelaide singles base. Hey babe, you're okay. I know you want to jump around. In the rosé colorway. So I thought, I know babe, they all just complement each other. So chair. That's not a table, that's a piano, honey. She's very used to crawling around the tops of our couches because they were connected, and we don't have that. This isn't our couch either. It's my in-laws' couch. It's actually Doug's and his brother's, but they're buying it off of them. So we have it for now. But yeah, so like these go really well together. I'm all over the place. And it's just gonna, yeah. So this is gonna be my Verses Unite. Very, very excited about it. But it probably won't get cast on for a while. Yeah, but it's really nice, and I met some amazing people. Like, I really enjoyed meeting Emily of Slow Fashion Rebel. Her and I feel like we clicked, and it was really nice. And yeah, just a bunch of other people, and I just love it. And I met Andrea Mowry, which was insane. I was not mentally prepared for that at all. The picture is not my favorite. Because like my shirt came untucked, it was just like clinging in all the wrong places, and it was a mess. But she could not have been nicer. I just love her so much. It only took me to get out of Michigan to go meet somebody from Michigan. Anyway, yeah, and then I stayed with Jacqueline in Brooklyn, and Julie spent the night. And it was a lot of fun. My foot's asleep, so I'm adjusting. Yeah, so everybody that said hi, thank you. It was great. It was really, really nice. You made my first solo trip very, very great. It was perfect. It was so good. Yeah, I could gush about it forever, but I will save that for the vlog. So, what else is going on? Stress Knits news, I think, is next. So if you're not interested in my shop, that's perfectly fine. I will catch you later. Sorry that this is so, like, discombobulating, and I don't know what's happening. And sorry that my dog tried to jump on the piano. And guys, she is trained. She's fine. She's just in a place that she doesn't know. So it's cool. Because anytime she acts crazy, people are like, you should train your dog. She's trained. She's great. Okay, so Stress Knits. I have pre-orders up right now for all sweater colorways and 8 bases. I think it's 8. So I have my new cloud base, which is the the Surrey alpaca silk. I have the halo base, which is kid mohair and silk. I have my favorite base, which is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. I'm going to be knitting a boxy out of that, which I'm very excited. I think it'll hold up very well. My singles base, which is 100% superwash merino singles. It's a fingering weight yarn as well. I have my DK weight base, which is 115 grams, 250 yards, I believe, but it's very soft, very drapey. It would be perfect for like if you want to make a plumpy shawl, comfort fade cardies, which I've been eyeing pretty hard. If you haven't knitted Tecumseh yet, all of that wonderful DK weight yarn. My worsted base, which is 100% superwash merino. All of my bases, once you get past fingering, they're all 100% superwash merino, just because that's what I like to work with for bigger projects, especially sweaters. And they all have a ply to them. So worsted weight, it's 218 yards and 100 grams, and then my new Aran weight, which I think is 171, 91, somewhere in there. It's just a classic Aran weight, and I love it. I cannot wait to knit a sweater with it. I think the Montmagny sweater, Montmagny, I don't know, but it's great. I'm really excited about the Aran weight. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm offering at the moment. But yeah, so you can get most of my semi-solid colors on any of those bases. It's the perfect time to order a sweater quantity if you've ever wanted to do so. The pre-orders are going to be up until Friday of next week so that I can order yarn and dye them for you. That'll also give me enough time to set up everything. I will not have my studio set up for a little bit, probably not until the summer, or spring rather, just because the basement still hasn't been moved over to the new house. So I'm going to need to wait a little bit to get it, but it's coming and I'm so excited about it. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, but I will show you some of the new colorways. I think I showed them last week. Esther, babe. I think I showed some of them last week, but I just want to reiterate just in case you're curious. So I do have some stuff that's ready to ship. I have one skein left of Thunder Snow, and this is very color accurate. Yeah, this was from my advent calendar 2018, and it's one of my favorites. It has a very dusty blue gray. This pink is amazing. Esther, babe. Esther. She's finding some of her toys. It's fine. Yeah, so this is Thunder Snow, which is very seasonally appropriate. I think this would make a gorgeous pair of socks or even a really cool fingering weight hat, or you could hold it double. Really, really like this. And then some of the new colorways, including these are also, there are a few skeins ready to ship of these. So I think I have 3 skeins of Perfectly Adequate, which is a gray. It's a nice, it's just a good medium gray. It's a good, just a really good medium gray. Esther, I'll help you in a second, babe. Yeah, Perfectly Adequate. Again, this is on my worsted base. It's a nice plump worsted, which I really, really love. There's that. I have the colorway Esther, because it's basically Esther with a with a little bit of a pink tint to it. So it's a nice, I'd call it like a taupey pink, a taupey brown pink. I really love it. Again, on worsted, I think there are 2 skeins of this left. And then Lake Effect, which was also in my advent calendar. It's just a really nice like sea glass green blue. I would call it green before I'd call it blue. And I love it. Again, on worsted, and I have 2 skeins of this. So if you're looking for, what's it called? The Golden Hour. You can totally buy this ready to ship. These would make great hats. You know what to do with worsted weight skeins. But yeah, so there's some available ready to ship. They just don't have pre-order in front of them. That's it. But pre-orders, I also have like cheeky and not cheeky cheeks and palm lines, which are my 2 new pinks. All the colors I just showed you. Esther, babe. Sorry, I'm really distracted. Yeah, they're all just colorways that I really, really love, including Prudence, which is essentially, it's a very similar colorway to Esther, but it has some like deep maroon-ish, pinkish speckles, some purple. I love it. It's a very subtly speckled colorway, so it would be perfect for a sweater. She really just wants her toys. I'll grab them. I thought we put them up high enough. Yeah, and I wanted to point out that you can email me at stressknitsyarn@gmail.com. I'll put that in the down bar if you are wanting like a kit of some sort. Again, I don't sell patterns, so you'd have to buy the pattern that you're looking for on your own, but I do offer kits. You just have to email me, and it has to be at least 3 skeins. Yes, at least 3 skeins on the same base. Now, a lot of indie dyers make you do the same colorway. As of right now, I will let you do single colorways that are like my normal colorways, as long as it's on the same base. So if you want to order, like if you want multiple skeins of my sock yarn, and you want stuff like Sweet Disposition, Pistachio Rose, and Birch, that's 3, not 4, that's 3, the stink bug got out. You can order that, as long as it's 3 skeins on the same base. And yeah, so there's no upcharge at the moment. There probably will be once I kind of get into the swing of things. But right now, you can custom order. The turnaround time will vary. So we will email back and forth, and I'll let you know what that timeline is, just because I want to make sure that I give myself enough time to dye your yarn and to make it as beautiful as normal. And yeah. So for example, I've had some more people request What the Fade kits, and if you don't know what the Fade is, it was Andrea Mowry's Mystery Knit Along, not this summer, the past summer. And it is a 6 skein project. I wear this everywhere. If you ever see me at a festival, I'm probably wearing this. Yes. So, for example, I have the My Jam colorway, Sweet Disposition, and I Smell Snow, along with Birch, Bell Jar, and Pillow Mint. So for me, it was a pink to mint gradient. And yeah, so people have been asking for this kit, but I would rather you message me. Don't message me on Instagram, email me, stressknitsyarn@gmail.com, because there's some weird thing happening with the website email thing, so just Gmail me. Again, I'll put it below and on the website. And if you want a What the Fade kit in like my colors or colors of your choosing, just email me and I will make it happen for you, because I want my yarn to be more accessible. And now that I'm settled, or I'm settling into a place where, one, I have family across the street and down the road, because my parents live down the road. Doug and I went to middle school and up together. So, like, I have help to watch Eliza if I have a lot of dyeing to do. It's just a much better setup than the apartment. So, yes, if you want yarn, as long as it's 3 skeins on the same base, just message me and we will work it out. And again, bases from the like mohair and alpaca, fingering, sport, DK, worsted, Aran. I don't currently do a bulky just because I don't know, but if that's something that you want, let me know. I have a base for it, I just haven't had any requests for it, so I just haven't dyed it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, tips. This is my new-ish segment, because I want to inform you of how I'm becoming a better, more well-rounded person. And one of the things that I've been exposed to, which I think a lot of us have been exposed to since Kristen of Vogue and Emily of Slow Fashion Rebel did their combined podcast for the 300th episode of Vogue, which is crazy. And it is the Gretchen Rubin happiness stuff. So Gretchen Rubin is an author. She created the Happiness Project book, which is actually on this table. It came out in 2009, and I think I bought it in 2010 or 11, and I read it when I was first struggling with mental health things, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. So I actually might have bought it after Doug and I broke up. But yeah, so, like, that book changed me, and then I kind of forgot about it, but now there are, like, the 4 personality things, which is, upholder, obliger, rebel, and questioner. And in case anybody was wondering, I'm an obliger, which makes total sense. Yeah, so it's really fun. You can take the test, not test, quiz, and just find out what you are. It's very much along the lines of, like, Myers-Briggs, and that kind of thing. It's really fun and insightful, and it helps you understand how your mind works. And then there are other things that go along with it, but she has a podcast, and I think it's called Happier with Gretchen Rubin. And it's really great. I've been listening to it while I'm unpacking, and it's just been really fun and informative. And I think the mailman is coming by. Yeah, it's been really great. So I highly recommend that. Just to help understand yourself and those around you. I'm not explaining it very well, but I think it's worth looking at, even if you do it once and you don't care about it. I think it's worth looking at. Yeah, so that is just one of the things that I'm doing at the moment. There are other things that I'm doing that I just can't think of off the top of my head because I'm so tired and my mind is all over the place and I'm staring at this bug. So I'm going to take care of that bug and unpack while Eliza is still sleeping and I'm waiting for my mom to head over. And I will talk to you next week. So thank you for sticking with me. I know this was all over the place. But, yeah, like I say all the time, it's my life. It's real. It's not edited. It's just me. So, thank you so much. If you haven't, subscribe, like the video, all that stuff, because it's very helpful for me to have exposure that way. Again, this will not be the background. Hopefully in the next week or two, there will be a more steady location that looks a lot better. So, yeah, I will talk to you next time. That was a very Midwestern goodbye where I start to say goodbye and then I talk about something else. So, I will talk to you next time. Have a wonderful week. Cast on those cozy sweaters and yeah, bye.